If you operate Kubernetes-hosted control planes, OpenShift Hypershift environments, or infrastructure that depends on connectivity proxy server, check this now. CVE 2026-16242 is a critical 9.4 vulnerability in the agent-facing configuration path. A reachable cluster endpoint with missing cluster certificate validation or token-based agent authentication could allow an unauthenticated remote agent into the routing pool. The practical risk is control plane-to-node traffic being proxied, inspected, modified, or dropped. Patch and verify configuration before treating these control planes as trusted. Here is the Defender-focused version. Connectivity is used to bridge control plane communication to clusters and nodes, especially in hosted control plane models where management components are separated from worker infrastructure. NVD, using Red Hat source data, says the vulnerable configuration starts the agent-facing listener without the cluster CA certificate, and without token-based agent authentication. That means the proxy may fail to validate client certificates on the agent side. This briefing does not include exploit steps, commands, or payloads. The important point is architectural. If an attacker can reach that endpoint and impersonate an agent, they may become part of a highly sensitive network path. The first action is exposure triage. Inventory hosted control plane deployments and any connectivity proxy server instances. Confirm whether the agent-facing endpoint is reachable only from expected cluster networks, private links, or VPNs. If it is internet reachable or broadly reachable from shared networks, prioritize it. Validate that agent authentication is enforced, that the cluster CA is configured where required, and that deployed manifests or operator-generated configs match the fixed guidance from Red Hat and the upstream Hypershift pull request. Do not rely only on the package version, confirm the live process arguments and configuration. Next, patch and contain. Apply vendor updates as soon as they are available for your platform. If you cannot patch immediately, restrict network access to the agent-facing listener using security groups, firewall rules, Kubernetes network controls, or private routing. Treat this as control plane infrastructure, not a normal application port. Review logs for unexpected agent connections, new or unfamiliar source addresses, connection churn, proxy errors, and traffic patterns that do not match node activity. Where exposure is plausible, preserve logs before rotation, and consider rotating credentials or certificates used around the affected control plane path. 2 additional developer tooling CVEs are worth quick attention today, but they are not as severe as the connectivity issue. CVE 2026-16242 affects Zevran RT claw up to 0.2.0 in an RPC handler named around swarm tool invocation. NVD describes incorrect authorization, remote exploitability, and public disclosure. If you test agentic or swarm-style tooling, avoid exposing RPC handlers to untrusted networks, update when a fix is available, and isolate experiments. CVE 2026-16209 affects Gerapy up to 0.9.13 in a project upload endpoint, where NVD describes missing authentication and references a patch commit. For scraping and automation dashboards, require authentication, patch, and restrict upload routes. The pattern is bigger than one Kubernetes proxy. Modern cloud, AI, and developer systems increasingly depend on brokers, tunnels, control plane proxies, agent endpoints, workflow builders, and RPC tools. When authentication is missing at those boundaries, the attacker does not need a flashy exploit chain. They may only need network reachability to a trusted path. Build your checklist around that reality: inventory exposed agent endpoints, validate mutual authentication, patch quickly, restrict routing, monitor for unexpected participants, and preserve enough logs to reconstruct who connected and when. Official source links are in the description.